Welcome to Community Chat, as you've come to expect from this particular program. The title itself says what we will focus on during this particular program. Community, the folks who work within it, the common thread to our town. Joining us today is Andrew Raczka, and he is our guest. I hope I said your last name correctly.
You did. Excellent.
Andrew is the president and CEO of Abington Bank. Perhaps you've stopped in, or maybe you banked there and you see him on occasion. Well, we're here to do a little bit of a lesson and talk a little bit about banking and Abington Bank specifically. Starting out, doing just a little bit of research for our discussion, my understanding is that Abington Bank has been around for somewhere in the neighborhood of a century or more?
Oh, a bit more, yeah. The original North Abington Cooperative Bank was founded in 1888 by Moses Arnold and a group of other local Abingtonians, and has grown over the years. Still remains a community bank, and we're very proud of our heritage.
I would ask you, how long have you been with Abington Bank? How'd you get your start with them?
Yeah, I celebrated my 15th anniversary with Abington Bank just this past year, which it's hard for me to believe. I've been in the banking industry over 35 years. I'd never been in one position more than 10. A few years back, I was joking around with some of my colleagues saying, well, I've never been anywhere 10 years. I guess I have to move on. But it's been a great 15-year ride, and I'm hoping to get 5 more years out of this, and then I'll toss the keys to somebody else.
Now, did you come in as the president and CEO, or did you start in another avenue?
I did come into Abington as the president and CEO. Okay. I had been a CEO of another small community bank for about 6 years. So all in all, I've been a CEO for about 21 years, and it's been a great experience.
When I think about banking in the traditional sense, the thing that I think about is a place for me, as I was taught when I was little, to safely keep my money, other than under my pillow or somewhere in the house, hidden. Also, if I needed to borrow money, would you say that banking is the same these days, or is it much more?
The concepts are the same, the fundamentals are the same. The thing that's different are the products and services. The delivery channels are so much different than they were back when I got into banking 35 plus years ago. And the pandemic proved out, how valuable these additional delivery channels are. Unfortunately, us and many other banks had to close their lobbies during the pandemic, and our customers had to bank differently with us, and we had to work differently with our customers. So fortunately for us, we've got a full suite of online banking products. You can actually open an account online with us, where we could never offer that before. You get bill pay online banking, where you can move money around electronically. Just this past week, we went live with Zelle, which is basically allowing our customers to move money to other customers at other banks. So it's phenomenal, the improvement that's happened in the service delivery.
I was going to ask you that. Talk to me about how many years you've been doing banking. How has banking changed and evolved over the past, whether it's the 15 years you've been in Abington, maybe the past 25 years or 30 years, however long you've been in banking?
Let me age myself a little bit, because when I got into banking, the bank that I worked for at the time didn't have any PCs on any desks. It was all dumb terminal type computers, that were hooked into a mainframe. A lot of reports were literally done on those old wide green ledger sheets of paper. It's phenomenal, the changes. Now, people can't survive today without a laptop, without dual screen monitors, without an iPad or a cell phone. I just had to shut my phone off to make sure I didn't get any interruptions. But I see most of my emails on a phone today, where years ago we didn't even have email. So,
if we could talk a little bit about when we talk about banks, and while helping the common person come in, I think there are other essentials as well, especially when it comes to community banking, small businesses, medium businesses. How essential are those aspects of banking when it comes to offering services, especially when it comes to business.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Small businesses, like, here in Abington, you want to make sure that the local businesses have access to financial services, whether it's for deposit accounts, whether it's for commercial loans, whether it's for commercial real estate loans. Say they're operating a business and they want to buy the building they're operating out of. It's absolutely essential. And sometimes some of the smaller local businesses don't fit the right makeup, if you will, for size for the bigger national banks. So it's critically important that Abington Bank and other banks provide the products and the services that the smaller to mid-sized business needs.
Now, some banks offer the ability to invest, maybe build a portfolio. Is that something that Abington Bank does, or has decided over the years not to involve itself in?
Well, over the years, we've not been involved. And I got to be careful what I say here, but stay tuned. My signature may have gone on a contract recently. It may have, it may not have, but stay tuned. Where that's something that from a strategic perspective, we're seeing if we can provide additional services to our customers.
You touched upon the pandemic and what it was like to operate in the pandemic, and I believe you had a close down where folks could not come in and have that personal experience. What was it like, as someone who's overseeing operations at Abington Bank, going, we don't know what's going to happen here for the next, 6 months, year, 18 months?
Yeah, it was strange, to say the least. It was really, really strange because where I sit on Harrison Ave, my office literally is located right outside the lobby, so people pass by me all the time. They look in my window, they see that I'm there, and then we went to nobody in the bank. It was kind of mysterious, like to say, where are these people? They were still changing their way of doing business. They were going to the drive-up and things like that. But fortunately for us, from an operational perspective, and we'll talk about the bank's growth, but we're part of a larger mutual holding company setup, and because we've got a lot more resources available to us today than we've had, in the most recent past, we were able to deploy, our workforce, or a significant portion of our workforce, to work from home when there was so much uncertainty. So a lot of our lending folks, our accounting folks, back office operational people worked from home while we still had the retail banking staff, the people in the branches, and a few members of senior management, myself included, still went to work every day.
At any point in time, did you think back to when you first got into banking and say, my goodness, if this pandemic started when we had those big, long ledgers and we have that enormous mainframe, we wouldn't have survived?
I have no idea how we could have pulled it off. Absolutely none. Because, literally, we had a situation where if we had employees who had PCs at home, we were able to get them, overnight VPN access to our computers, through our firewalls and things like that, so that they didn't miss a beat. Their phone would ring at their phone at home or forward to their cell phone. So from a customer perspective, if the customer didn't know that somebody was working at home still in their pajamas, they had no idea because our service levels remained strong.
Let's talk a little bit about the growth of the organization. Again, you've been overseeing it as president and CEO for 15 years. I believe you have, 6 branches at this point?
We now have 6.
Yeah. Talk to me about the growth and the future of continuing to grow.
Yeah, for, just with the exception of the last 4 years, we were what would be referred to a one-unit bank where we had one branch location. There's been a lot of competitive pressure and operational expense pressure in the banking industry, and over the last 10 or 15 years we've seen significant consolidation, and the number of community banks has shrunk considerably. So we were aware of it. We had some strategic conversations with other banks, and then back in 2017 we merged with 2 other local community banks, first with Holbrook Cooperative and then with Avon Cooperative, and then in 2019 we merged into the mutual holding company that we are in today, and as part of that transaction we merged with Pilgrim Bank, which is down in Cohasset. So right now we are the end result of 4 community banks, but because of the fact that we've structured the last transaction in such a way that we strongly believe it's created sustainability for us. So, Abington Bank is, the future looks bright, and we're going to be here for a long time going forward.
Yeah, it's interesting when you mention about mergers, and it's like the ecosystem of banking, and if you're a smaller bank, then you could be basically annexed into a bigger conglomerate. When you hear the words merger, what goes through your mind?
Well, if some people get nervous, they're afraid what's going to be the outcome and things like that. And I can proudly say, when Abington merged with these 3 banks, there were no job losses as a result of excess staffing and mergers. We've had attrition. People have left for whatever reason, that they had an opportunity somewhere else, they wanted to change their career, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure you can say that, or I know you can't say that, of all bank mergers. Specifically with some of the larger stock-driven transactions, there's a lot of offices that close down. I mean, if you read the local, the business papers in the Boston area, there's a couple of big mergers that are going on, and there's going to be locations closed down. I don't know what the outcome with jobs is going to be. There's uncertainty, but I'm proud to say that there was no job loss at Abington Bank as a result of the mergers.
I will say one of the clever things that Abington Bank has done is marketing itself and getting the word out there. Probably the hallmark of the signature is usually St. Patrick's Day. If you're seen wearing an Abington Bank hat, we might come up to you and give you a little something. Talk to me about being competitive in today's day and age.
Yeah, well, our marketing today, again, part of the holding company format we're in, we've got the best marketing we've ever had, because we could never afford the resources as a one tiny, small $100 million bank. Now we're part of a $3 billion holding company, and the expenses of such a professional marketing group get distributed over the 3 banks. So we get the benefit of a terrific marketing group and an outside ad agency. We're doing a lot of things right now digitally. We have a big billboard up at the Braintree Split promoting Abington Bank. We're doing television commercials, which we've never been able to do before. And they're all produced very, very professionally. I can promise you will not see me featured in any of the television commercials. So, but back to the whole hat thing. Could I take like 30 seconds more and tell you a story?
Do.
I mean, nobody, when I got to North Abington Cooperative Bank, the name, besides our immediate customers, wasn't really well known. And so we decided strategically to change the name from North Abington Cooperative to Abington Bank. And I wanted to do something to get the word out. So I came up with, I guess, this crazy idea that we were going to give away Abington Bank baseball caps and then pay people if they were spotted during either the day of the parade or throughout the course of the summer. We would award them money. Right. Now, when we first did this, the first year we did it, we gave out 5,000 baseball caps. So this was back when the bank wasn't doing as well as it was today. I went to my board of directors and said, I've got an idea. At the St. Patrick's Day parade, we're going to give out 5,000 baseball caps, and then if we spot people wearing them, we're going to give them each $100 after that. Well, there was dead silence in the boardroom. That was a long time, it was about 13 years ago, and I started saying to myself, this might be the last board meeting at North Abington Bank I ever attend. But it's been a great success. Our customers love it. The people in the area love it. So it's gone very, very well.
What are the benefits of local community banks and community banking in general?
Well, I think that the benefits are that you're able to get access to your bankers and to ultimately the people in decision-making capacity. As I said, I can't hide where my office is located. So, I love the complimentary thanks and praise that customers give us, but occasionally we're going to stub our toe, and when we do stub our toe, a customer can reach out and access us because we're local. Our loans are serviced locally. Our branch managers work and live locally. Our entire board of directors are from the South Shore community. So, it's very much local access, local decisions. That's one of the things that really differentiates us from larger banks.
As we wrap up our conversation here, anything that we haven't touched upon, but you want to make sure that you mention, and as much time as you want, or even if you want to go back to something that we had talked about and you want to reemphasize. I know you had mentioned Zelle, and that's kind of a new,
Yeah,
new
we
platform that's
mentioned
coming
Zelle,
online.
which is great. We've done a lot in the town of Abington and the surrounding communities where when we open a green checking account, we give our new customer an opportunity to direct a donation that's made by the bank. Over the years, here when we started just in Abington, it was for the Abington Educational Foundation and St. Bridget's School, and we've grown it in all the communities we're operating in now. And over the years, we've donated about $40,000 through those new account openings. You talk about young people, you know, in banking services. We started a program several years ago with the fourth graders in Abington where we would open an account, fund it for them, because we want to teach them a little bit about, you know, saving money and developing a relationship. We have promotions going on right now with our green checking account that if customers, you know, if they sign up for e-statements and use their debit card so many times, they can get over the course, I think it's over a course of a year, they can get back a bonus of $200, and that promotion's going on right now. So we got a lot of great things. We've got great people that work for us who really care about the communities as they serve and, you know, the people they work with. So it's a great team.
And banking is important, and it's something definitely you want to start them when they're young to get them to understand. I mean, the one thing I remember as an inception, local bank here in the South Shore, they would give you this card, and you'd put quarters in it. And once you filled the card up, you would bring it to the bank, and you'd have a little book, and it'd tell you how much was in it. You know, you'd look to earn as many quarters to fill it up. So anything that can get folks to get involved and understand that, you know, it's a partnership when it comes to banking with the community.
And we want to keep them. We want to get these young people in at the fourth grade. And you jokingly said to my management team when they said, why did we pick the fourth grade? I said, I don't know many fourth graders that can drive themselves to the bank. So when they come in, we get a chance to get mom and dad too to bank with us. We've got an account program, a checking account program for graduating seniors that are going to be going off to college because they're going to need a debit card, you know, things like that. So, you know, we want to attract them early, and we want to keep them for a long time.
Well, Andy, I want to thank you very much for joining us and being my guest. And again, our guest has been Andrew Raczka. He is the CEO and president of Abington Bank. Hey, if you have an idea for a segment that you'd like to know more about a community organization or some of the things that go on here in the community, drop us a line. info@abingtoncam.tv is the way. And until next time, have yourself a great day.